Well, Halloween is truly over and Guy Fawkes is gone and the fireworks are dying down. But everywhere else is ramping up for Christmas. It seems like we don't ever get a break these days. Or am I the only one that feels like that? Hello and welcome to this episode of Natter with Niamh. If you're new here, I'm Niamh. I'm a women's confidence coach. I work with journal prompts, with Reiki, meditation, to help women see where they can become more confident in their lives, where they are not using their voices, and how they can get what they need out of life. In my last episode, I spoke about the masks we wear. Usually the I'm fine mask. And I'm going to cover that topic a little bit again in this episode because I think it's quite an important topic. And I think this time of the year, rather than letting the mask go, we quite often tighten the screws. And we say, I'm fine, more than ever. Because there often seems to be an awful lot of pressure put on women at this time of the year. Some of that pressure we put on ourselves. Some of it comes from the expectations of families and relatives. Some of it is societal. And a lot of it comes from what we see around us. You walk into any supermarket now, and not only are you bombarded by Christmas fare, Christmas decorations, Christmas chocolates, Christmas puddings, mince pies, you've also got the ads for the perfect Christmas dinner. Things to do with your Brussels sprouts, like add chestnuts or bacon to them. You know what? If you want to just take your Brussels sprouts out of the freezer and steam them or boil them for 5 minutes, that's what you do. But it sometimes feels like we can't do that because you see the adverts on TV, you see it in the media, you see other people posting. You're bombarded with all these images of what a perfect Christmas should be. And it's really hard to not feel pressured to subscribe to that. To make your house look beautiful and immaculate and have the Christmas tree that's colour coordinated and themed and all the rest of it. I can tell you for a start, I don't do that. Many, many years ago, when my children were very, very little, we started a tradition where they get a Christmas tree decoration in their stocking. Now they've moved out from home and, well, my youngest still lives with me, but the older two have their own homes. And my tree still has to have all their decorations from the year of dot, from whenever we started this. So probably at least 20, if not 25 years worth of decorations. Each child got their own decoration, so they were on a similar theme but slightly different. And so every year there's more of them because they still have to have a Christmas tree decoration in their stockings because it's just a family tradition now. And that's what my tree is. And I love it because my tree does not look perfect. My tree looks like a random mess. It looks like somebody taken a decorations box and just vomited it all over the tree. But when we decorate the tree, we remember the years and the Christmases those decorations came from. It provides talking points. It reminds us of memories, happy Christmases, the sad Christmases, the people who are no longer here. And for me, it's just a beautiful tradition, and I don't care that my Christmas tree is not all red and gold and beautiful, that it does look just like a mishmash. Because that for me is what Christmas is about. It's about family, it's about love, it's about the shared stories and the shared memories It's about coming together. It's not about perfection. And to be fair, I've never been a great cook, so my Christmas dinners were never going to be perfect. If everything was all ready at the same time, we were on a win. And that's still very much the case. But I do remember the years when my children were little, and there were certain things that were, I can't even remember what they were now, but there were things that all the kids were wanting for Christmas, and having to hunt these things down because obviously there was only ever so many of them made, and everybody would be hunting for them, and you'd be imagining the disappointment when your child couldn't have whatever it was they were after. And I know that's even a bigger thing among parents nowadays as well, because so much more gets shared on social media and children see so much more, that there's more pressure. And so not only do we have the pressure, to buy the perfect gifts for our children, but also for our relatives. Quite often we as women are expected to do the Christmas shopping for our partners or husbands, family as well. So we're expected to know what they all love and want, without any input. We're just meant to be gifted that inspiration. And we spend way too long stressing over these things, when actually most of these people would probably really just value your company when you're in a relaxed and happy state, rather than stressing over things. And this is something I've been giving a lot of thought to recently, because I've had a number of conversations with women, and particularly younger women in their kind of 30s, maybe late 20s, who are just starting out or have young children, toddlers, school-age children, and they just feel under so much pressure to get everything right. And most of my audience, the people I work with, the women I work with, tend to be in later life, so I think some of that pressure has gone, but some of it can still be there. And a lot of it feels like it's coming from external pressure. It feels like that pressure is being put on us. But actually you get to choose. Just like I get to choose how my Christmas tree looks, you get to choose too. Every year I set a budget for my children for Christmas presents, and I tell them this is how much I'm spending. If you want something specific, it either has to be in this limit or I will give you money towards it. And we now just all do the same. We set a budget, because then everybody knows the expectations. And in fact, we don't even always expect gifts from each other either. We've had a few years where, the children have been starting out in careers, or, starting out living by themselves, and money's been a bit tight. So we've either decided just to not do gifts, or just do very small gifts, because for us being together is far more important. So I'm asking you today to actually take a few moments to yourself to sit and work out what is actually important for you in this season of madness that's approaching. What do you actually want Christmas to mean for you? Because if you're not religious and you're not celebrating the birth of Christ and going to church and doing all those things, what meaning are you attaching to it? Rather than lining the pockets of billionaires and millionaires, what is it for you? What does it mean for you? How do you want to spend the day? Who do you want to spend it with? How much are you prepared to spend on the day itself? Not actually on Christmas Day, but you know what I mean, on the preparations for it. How much of your peace of mind are you willing to give away for 1 or 2 days? Because that's the real question here. Because stressing over it is taking away your peace of mind for a 24-hour, 48-hour period. That probably may not mean much to you or your relatives or your friends anyway. Are you just being caught up in the hype? Or is there a meaning for your celebration? Because your peace of mind is really, really important. And there's no reason why any festivities should claim your peace of mind just so everything appears to be perfect for other people. Because who's put you at the bottom of the pile? Why can't you be the angel or the star at the top of the Christmas tree? Not the ugly bauble that you were given by an old uncle that now hides around the back of the tree because you have to put it there, but you don't really want anybody to see it. You're important. You're really, really important. And your peace of mind is important. And all I'm asking of you and for you this Christmas is that you give that some thought before you go rushing around trying to live up to everybody else's expectations, trying to create what you think would be the perfect Christmas for everybody else. Ask yourself what you want from Christmas, and then maybe ask them too. Because it's quite possible they don't want all the hype and all the fuss and all the huge presents and the big dinner and all the rest of it. Maybe they just want some peace and quiet and some quality family time without all the effort. But we never know unless we ask. And the thing is, we just get so caught up because we see all the media, we see it everywhere around us. You know, it began way back in August, but it's really hyping up now. You know, as I said at the beginning, you can't walk into a supermarket or a shop without seeing it. Even my local funeral parlour has Christmas decorations in the windows. It's November. So we can't help but see it, and we can't help but be affected by it. So now, if you're listening to this, is your opportunity to take a step back and ask yourself, is it really worth your peace of mind? Is it what you really want? And if you've got something out of this, if it's resonated with you at all, I would love to hear from you. I would love for you to share this with friends, family, anybody who you think it might help. I'm also running a workshop, both in person and online, and I will leave the details for that in the comments in case you want to come along and work out how you can relieve yourself of some of the stress of Christmas, or how you can even begin to start asking yourself the questions and giving yourself permission to have Christmas your way, the way you want, because you know you deserve that. You really do. You've worked hard all year. You've done your best. You've given your best. So why should you not have your best now? Thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next one.